Gran Turismo 7, will it have Feeder on the soundtrack? Hello everybody and welcome to WCCF Tech does the talky podcasty thing. And I've had my hair cut, so I know I'm ruggedly handsome, sexy beast. And Francesco's just been looking at me all day.
Yeah,
But
hello.
he's only human. He's only human.
Yeah.
So, and you can actually see him on camera for once.
Yeah,
see him.
for the first time. Yeah.
So, how are you both? Let's start with that. I know you're dying, Francesco.
Yeah, well, I'm not really dying, but I have had a very bad cold. I could be better, but there's always something worse. So
No, there is. And you, Alessio?
Just normal.
When are you going to get a webcam?
Maybe someday. Who knows? It will be a surprise.
It will.
But yeah, today I think it's almost all about PlayStation because there was a big showcase
there was
event.
Yeah.
And honestly, they showed a lot of things, so there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I think the real thing is Gran Turismo 7. Will it have Feeder on the soundtrack? I've already said that in our private chats. I think it's about time that they brought back Feeder, so it's like Gran Turismo 3, the best one. Yeah?
I don't know. But I do know that as we published on the website, it's going to require an internet connection even for the campaign mode, and most of the features really. So
that's
there is that.
Yeah.
That is sadly bullshit. Yeah, I'm not quite happy about that, but then again, I'm never happy about rubbish like that.
Well, at least it's not too far away. So March 4th, it's going to be a busy month.
Yeah.
Everything's coming out in the first 3 months of next year. Pretty much everything.
There's going to be no way anybody can just do everything that way. You need to hire about 5,000 reviewers just to get through every game.
Yeah. Yeah, we need more people. We need help.
I just need more time off work.
Or maybe more time, yeah.
Maybe we just need to clone each other.
There's only room in this world for one of me. Bloody hell.
Okay.
So what games do you... So, go on, what stood out for you in the PlayStation showcase, Alessio?
Well, a lot of things, but we have to start with one, and of course, as a Marvel fan, having Insomniac showcase both Spider-Man 2 and even a Wolverine game, which we haven't had one of that in a long time, if ever. I think actually it's never really gotten his own game where it was just about Wolverine.
Which is surprising considering how popular the character became.
Yeah, indeed. And so it's coming now, and it really seems like Insomniac is doing a lot of things because they released the Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5 launch title. Then again, Ratchet and Clank, which of course is your favorite, and we already know that. And now Spider-Man 2, which is also going to feature Venom, which is great, because it's another beloved character, and it also obviously ties in Sony's pictures because the movie sequel is coming soon, and also Wolverine, and apparently it's going to be technically in the same universe. So who knows? Potentially in the future they could even cross have a crossover between Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it is exciting, and Insomniac, I'd say, it was a great buy, absolutely a great buy from Sony. Yeah, it really shows.
Oh,
Yeah,
most
they're getting
certainly.
like one game a year they're releasing, so it's really a great buy.
I think it's a weird one because when you look at like Miles Morales, yeah, they got another game, but that was really just a expansion on Spider-Man. Obviously, Insomniac have got enough teams. They've got enough, and they've probably got so much in the pipeline which are in different stages that we'll probably see a year break from them in the near future. But that's only just so they can polish up what they're working on at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember when Insomniac first did, what was it now they did for the Xbox? Sunset Overdrive, was it?
Sunset Overdrive, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that came out of the Xbox, and I thought, bloody hell. And it seemed like a betrayal then because Insomniac had been like pure PlayStation.
Yeah.
But then you realise that they were they were like the most third party in the world at the time. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2 is going to be good. Wolverine, so long as it's got a good narrative, they can make that sort of game work anytime. It's make it a hack and slash. It's fine. I think what interested me, Project Eve. What do we know about that? It's all I know. It's Korean, isn't it?
Project Eve, it's not really very. I mean, the developers weren't really that forthcoming on details yet, but we do know it's a third-person action game, and even from the footage, it's clear this is meant to be a relatively run-of-the-mill type of action game with dodges and whatnot.
Yeah.
Asian style, of course, because the developers are, I think, from South Korea, and of course they
That means there's going to be
already
bouncy boobs.
possibly, although it seems like
It's Korean. There's definitely going to be.
Yeah,
the
Sony's not going
protagonist.
to like it though. They're censoring everything, so I don't think it's going to. They're going to bounce that much this time.
Yeah, it's not going to be excessive, but yeah, it's interesting. Interesting game. I also got a few near, kind of vibes because it's also in post-apocalyptic world. So it's reminded me of Near a bit.
Fair play.
Yeah, what about Francesco?
Well, it's not going to be a surprise, but God of War Ragnarok was my highlight. I saw a lot of people were disappointed that the game looks and seems to play a lot like God of War, but I think it's how do you improve perfection? Because I think the PlayStation 4 God of War is I think one of the best games released in the past 10 years or so. Really, if I had reviewed it, I would have given it a 10, and I really don't want to do this, but I think that I would have done that.
I'm sorry, but improve on perfection. There were no Football Manager gameplays in it. How could it be perfection?
Yeah, well, you can.
And also, no Ratchet or Clank.
Well, we have different. We see perfection differently, I guess.
In fact, yes, there was no Total War aspects either.
Yeah.
I've only ever given 2 10 out of 10s. No, I completely understand. I do.
Yeah, you can shoot a ball, but you can throw an axe. So, is there anything better than throwing an axe around and then calling it back from far away and feel it come back?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of those sex games are very realistic.
Francesco just loves Norse mythology.
Yeah, that too. But And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of God of War. I don't really like the first three, to be honest.
No,
I
me
think
either.
they're sometimes very childish. They're very childish. But
It's a
they
weird
do.
one. I can understand because you got to remember, like the first three God of Wars were more of a. Again, even though it's a short period of time, there it shows you how gaming's evolved in that short period of time because they were like pretty revolutionary to an extent in themes of maturity and everything. And I mean, yeah, they
Yeah,
were childish in the fact that they showed
they were
tits for the
very
sake of
childish.
it.
You know, I love Devil May Cry, so I know what the that type of game can be a little
Yeah,
stupid. But I think there's a line between being just stupid and then being childish, and the first three God of War crossed that way too
yeah.
much. They
I
were
mean,
okay games, but
I'm not a fan
that
of
was too
God
much.
of War. I never was a fan of the original God of Wars. They were just easy to pick up and play games. They were never my thing. The new God of War, Dad of Boy, absolutely fantastic, and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hell of a lot better
So
narrative.
yeah, so there was no reason to change things since that game was perfect.
But
And
they are
actually,
changing because Corey Balrog's not going to be
yeah, but
directing, is he?
you know, we haven't seen much, but I don't think it has changed that much. There's probably some new addition to combat puzzles, but I don't think it's going to be that different from the first one.
It's the football
But what?
manager. They're throwing that in.
Yeah, unless we have to put together a Norse football team before football was a thing.
Football
Godly
has
football,
always been a thing.
football from the gods.
Oh, I mean, it's yeah. As Francesco said, it was. I think the main point of discussion was the similarity with the PlayStation 4 game, but as he already said, I mean that game was one of the best in the console generation. I think, regardless of platform, even considering other platforms, it's really an amazing game. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's really as close as perfect as
Really was great.
realistically you can make it. In that genre, and I think they're just from what they've said, it's going to be a lot more. The narrative is going to be a lot more expansive, especially the role of Atreus is going to be. He's older now, so he's going to challenge even Kratos, yeah, every now and then. And now, of course, we know that he really is Loki. I mean, it's been 3 years, so we can now say it.
Spoilers.
So, and we have to see how that goes because, of course, as Francesco knows, there is a prophecy about Ragnarok and Loki. So
Yeah,
it's basically tied to the fall of the gods,
yeah,
Norse gods. So we'll have to see how that goes, and we know that they're going to let us go into Asgard, which wasn't in the first game, and that's going to be interesting, of course, because Asgard is always one of the mythical places we see more often in both movies, TV shows, and games as well. So it will be interesting to see how they portray this fantasy land.
Yeah.
And also, I'd say another kind of controversy was about the design of Thor, because they basically went with Fat Thor. So
I
I think,
enjoyed Fat Thor in the film.
yeah. I have quite a few things to say about that. Honestly, well, I don't know how much you know about Norse mythology. I don't know, but Thor is presented as that god that is always partying, drinking. I don't think someone that parties and drinks all the time can be thin. And also we have to think about how people back then how they would think about the gods, how they would look like. You kind of have to contextualize that. So
Yeah,
being
true.
fat, being fat at those times meant that they could afford to eat that much. So I don't think it's that weird for a god like Thor to be represented that way. It's not Marvel. It's not Marvel Comics. So you couldn't get someone that looked nice like the actor. I don't remember his name.
Chris Hemsworth.
So
No, what's it? Chris Hemsworth?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's your sibling.
Yeah, he's slightly uglier than me, but so what?
So yeah, I think Thor that way is probably closer to what the stories tell us rather than the American Marvel comics. And it's generally very not faithful but respectful how Santa Monica created that world.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty respectful of the myth. So I really that this is one of the reasons why I enjoy that so much. Not many games do that. When talking about Norse mythology, there's always something way too much fantasy, and they just go away from the little we know about them because we don't know a lot about them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
true.
my one question would be, I mean, with all that fat, can he really be as great as a warrior as he is, in all of the mythology? He's supposed to
Well,
be the
I don't know. Have you
most
seen
warrior.
some of the fat buggers in MMA? I wouldn't fight them.
yeah, it may just mean he's big, so he's strong anyway. He has to be strong anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair play. No, it's going to be interesting as long as they make it, as long as they develop on the first. Because you don't need to improve visuals. It looked fantastic. So why if people are moaning that it doesn't, it looks the same, it's like, stop whining. Just stop whining. As long as they do something gameplay wise and narrative wise to make it worthwhile a sequel. Because the problem is you just do not want a sequel that's just cashed in, just phoned in for the sake of it.
Besides, it's a cross-gen title, so it was expected
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be all that. But truly next gen.
Yeah.
As always, people need to manage their expectations.
Yeah,
They probably get too hyped.
we're too early in the current
And
new
it's too early,
generation
yeah.
before to actually have But that's life.
Yeah.
But there were a few more news that are worth talking about, in the showcase.
Yeah.
For example, the remake of one of the best RPGs of all time, that is called Star
Yeah.
Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Republic. Yeah, we haven't seen anything, so we don't know how they're going to.
I heard that like it was being remade. Who's doing the remake?
Aspyr, maybe.
Aspyr is doing the remake.
Aspyr's alright, but
Yeah, I
we'll
think they're
see.
doing an action RPG. I think some rumors say they are doing an action RPG this time.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we haven't seen anything, so we just know it exists.
Immediately, as soon as you say like you're remaking KOTOR, and it's like, but we're going to change the type of RPG. Well, don't fucking remake it then. It's not a remake; it's a reimagining. It's the Final Fantasy VII style remake, which, albeit, was great, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the original game was real time with pause, and it's not really a thing now, at least in console games.
Well, it
honestly.
should be.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting, Sony has paid for console exclusivity at launch, so there is that.
Well, Microsoft have already spent $7 billion on console exclusivity for certain things, so Sony needs to do something.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think Sony should just buy. I don't know. Sony should buy Devolver Digital. Don't know why, but just for the hell of it.
Yeah, just because they can.
Yeah.
They should. Just because they can.
Or Sony should just buy me and put me on the front cover of every game, and also the voice actor of every character, even the females.
They should put in a new Ratchet and Clank, in the next Ratchet and Clank. New character.
I think they should have me play Wolverine. I've got some claws, and I'm going to fucking cut you if you don't shut up. There you go.
Okay. But, I think another game that looked great at the showcase was Forspoken, which is the new game from the Final Fantasy 15 developers.
Yeah,
I think it's
it looked a little empty, I think. I mean, the world seemed too big for what they have shown.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks, but it's still early, so we don't know. But it looked a little bit empty, like Final Fantasy 15. I like that game, but the world feels empty. Same issue. I hope they have learned the lesson.
yeah, that's
and
true.
yeah, I agree. To an extent, anyway, because I did enjoy Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, they could have made the world a bit more developed. It's just a weird one because it was, well, brand new for the franchise to do it that way. Do I miss the old style of Final Fantasy? Yeah, of course I do. I've been replaying Final Fantasy 9 on the Switch every now and then. You know, when I dare pick up that paperweight. But yeah, I do miss. But Final Fantasy 15 was a really good game. It's like you say, they could have just done a bit more to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, and I think the team really made a miracle in making a game that was playable in such a short time
Oh
with
yeah,
all the development issues. That they really, I don't think they could have done anything better with the time they had and
yeah.
with all the issues they had.
In all fairness, considering all the issues and the time and everything, the fact that they made a game that was genuinely great, because it was still great.
Yeah. It's too bad they just split the story between too many things, the movie, the
Yeah,
anime.
yeah, I'll give you that one.
I think, yeah, I think that made the game worse because
Yeah,
you don't know much about these guys you're following.
yeah.
You just know that
Why you have to
Baptiste
watch
is the prince.
Kingsglaive before playing the bloody game?
Yeah, that would have made a nice prologue for the game
Don't get me wrong.
because
I was fortunate in the fact that before they sent me the review copy of Final Fantasy 15, they sent me a copy of Kingsglaive to watch. But yeah,
that would
so
have made a nice prologue in the game. Like that, you just left.
hmm.
You can
Also,
you can tell it's incomplete in that state. I hope they learned the lesson with Forspoken. It just took
uh,
that.
I'd like to point out that there was also some sad news for Chris, as his favorite game ever was delayed, and it's called Grand Theft Auto. It was supposed to come out this year, but it's delayed, and I'm
I
sure it's
I
heartbroken.
I enjoyed GTA, but oh, come on. And then again, I know why, because it's still the most valuable piece of entertainment ever. They're just milking the fuck out of it. Where's GTA 6?
Yeah.
No, that's the simple
maybe
question.
maybe in 3 or 4 years.
Fuck me. I'll be dead by then. I said,
But seriously, there is also a big news for PC gamers,
what,
which
they're
is that
releasing Skyrim again?
Yeah,
they're releasing
they're releasing Skyrim.
Uncharted on PC.
Didn't I see news
Yeah,
about God of War also sort of like Nvidia-ing it up and possibly going to be PC?
Well, that's just a rumor for now.
yeah. Just so someone had accessed the GeForce Now database and found entries
Yeah, but
for God of War.
we pretty much know for a fact that if Uncharted's coming, we know for a fact now that every single Sony exclusive's coming eventually.
Yeah,
Sony,
I think God of War has a very high chance of coming because
all
they're
of them.
probably going to get it out before Ragnarok so they can
Yeah.
push Ragnarok.
I genuinely, I'm going to say, I don't even think it's that a hard sell. That is literally every single Sony exclusive first party will come to the PC, probably when it comes to newer games, I estimate between 2 to 3 years after the console launch. When it comes to PS5 ones, simply because they need to get chance for people to actually get one of those mythical boxes. More chance of getting Mjolnir than a PS5 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all in all, it was a nice show, and also it wasn't even the only news that came for Sony in the week, because they also acquired a new studio.
I didn't
That
hear this
is,
one.
yeah, they acquired Fry Sprite, which was really founded by former Studio Liverpool developers. So it was kind of a comeback for them.
Studio Liverpool. Weren't they Pignosis way back when?
Yeah, I think so. They developed Wipeout.
Yes.
If I So maybe
Pignosis then.
Wipeout reboot. That would be nice.
In fact, didn't I hear something, again, this may be a rumour, didn't I hear something about, like, what is it, Twisted Metal coming back?
Yeah, another rumor, but they said it's very early in development, so we're probably not going to see it.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those long-term titles where if it's made well, it could do well, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they confirmed the TV series, so now Sony is really trying to intertwine all of these properties they have between movies and TV and games. So they're trying to make
Yeah.
the most of it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense to me. But yeah. What other news was there? Oh, well, big news. Football Manager. Football Manager's coming out in November. I've only spent a couple hundred hours on the current version, so I need to...
And it will be on Game Pass. So yeah.
Yeah, true. Well, to be fair, that's a weird one. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's, to be fair, it might actually be worth more for Sega to do it on Game Pass, because Football Manager is the sort of game where people play it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. So they might, like, all you'll see is all the Game Pass revenue going to Sega from now on. And I've never turned Game Pass on, actually. I'm still paying £8 a month, and I've never actually used it. Oh well. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I had it for like a month, and I wanted to play a lot of different things. I ended up playing none of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the Netflix syndrome, I call it.
I watch Netflix. Netflix.
Yeah, I do, but
used.
I always say, "Oh, I'm going to watch all of these things." Then I just watch one thing, because when there's too many things available, you just end up. At least this is for me.
Yeah.
I just to say, I just give up. No, it's not I give up. I just say, choice is too big. I don't want to spend so much time choosing things.
Yeah, I can understand
Searching
that.
for things, rather.
Yeah, I can certainly understand that. That makes sense to me. Because I'm the same. It's like, once you've got too many options, I'm just like, oh fuck it, I'll just do something I already know I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair play.
There was, something that I didn't quite love in the showcase, and that's none other than Alan Wake Remastered. That is to say that I was expecting more, because it's really, I don't know, seems like a quick job just to make a few sales. And it's not really a major improvement. I mean, the gameplay will be the same. The graphics is not that bad.
Yeah, they are improved. You can certainly, like, the faces. At least you can tell the faces now. They were quite. When you see see a few comparison screenshots, there are certain improvements. I think the thing for me is, like, how much is it going to cost? Because if all they charge is like £10, $15, €15, then it's not that bad because essentially that's how much you pay for the original game. And I mean, are they going to sell it separate? Like, if you own the original on Steam or whatever, can you just have the remastered version? Do we know if they're doing that?
They haven't said. I think.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be on Steam because it's published by Epic. It's basically one of the games that Remedy had signed with Epic. So,
fuck me, Epic have been ripped off. Well, there's literally.
But
yeah.
I mean, this will likely lead to Alan Wake 2, so that's a good thing.
See, that's where
I was just hoping to see more remastering done, but
yeah, they could have done great with ray tracing given the game setting, but they're not doing much.
So,
it's a shame because control looks great, even without ray tracing. With ray tracing, it's a shame that they're just not bothering. I'd say
thinking
the
about
bare
it,
minimum.
Thinking about it, I bet Epic just give this game away for free. And this
they probably will.
I think this will be a free game from Epic, and it really will be like, play this old horror game, don't buy it on Steam, and also the sequel is coming soon.
No, they might down the line. I don't think at launch, but probably down the line they will. They're giving away so many games on the Epic Game Store. So.
It's a weird one because, like, I still remember the deal they signed with Sega, Total War Saga Troy. They gave it that away for free for 24 hours, and that's a full-priced brand new game when it was given away for free. So a remaster, it's just, yeah. I don't
know. The thing is, I mean, it's going to be the first time Alan Wake is on PlayStation, and of course they're going to sell it on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. They'll sell it for there, yeah.
It will be quite weird, maybe the game costs, I don't know, $30 on PlayStation, and then it's free on the Epic Game Store. It will be.
I can't see them charging that much. Surely not.
I think they may charge more than $30.
Really?
I don't know. I have the. You know how PlayStation 5 games cost generally more now. They're probably going to do the same with remasters. So maybe if it was a PlayStation 4 era, it would have cost $30. But I can see this costing $39.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Then people wonder why I don't buy games anymore.
Yeah, that's because you get them for free, Chris.
Yeah.
Don't start telling people that.
Yeah, they're going to say we're privileged.
I pay for. If anybody's asking, I pay for everything. I pay for everything.
I ended up buying a couple of things I got on console on PC. I got to review on consoles. I bought them on PC. I have a clear conscience.
I don't have a conscience. That's why I can go out murdering. Yeah.
Actually,
go on.
Yeah, sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh no, yours will be. I was just going to say, what are people playing? But that'll come afterwards. So go on. What are you saying?
There is one rather big news tidbit that we really have to talk about. That is, the first ruling on the Epic versus Apple trial, which ruled that Apple needs to allow for third-party payment options. So that's a big win for Epic, even though they are not quite fully happy because the judge also ruled that Epic will need to pay basically Apple for 30% of what they
See, that's
they've
not
made
really
basically.
much because it was only about 13 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they're basically. Of course, Apple is going to appeal, but Epic is also going to appeal from those counts that they
Yeah.
haven't been satisfied with. So
So
it's going to be a long battle still, but yeah, I think it's a good starting point
Epic have
for
already,
Apple.
Epic have already put their appeal in. I don't think Apple will appeal, mainly because I think Apple will go above the appeal stage. They're going to start bribing legislators. Oh no, they're going to donate to legislative campaigns. There's the simple reality is there's no justification. Nobody with half a brain cell can ever say Apple deserve to have a complete lock on payment methods through iOS. There's no. Fair enough, people will come up with the arguments why they won't have another store on iOS because of security, whatever. Fair enough, I'll give them that argument, even though it's bullshit. But when it comes to payment methods, there's no security, no nothing. Apple can't suddenly turn around and start saying that paying by Visa is now using WorldPay is somehow less safe than paying through Apple Pay. Paying by PayPal is now less safe. It's like these things have been around for long enough. We know they're fine. So the only reason Apple wants it is so they can milk the living fuck out of everybody and use it in their child slave mines in China where the iPhones are made. So yeah. But in all simply put, like the court, it went about as good as it could go for Apple. They are going to lose revenue if it carries on like this because it'll apply to every single app and game and everything on iOS. So you're suddenly going to see all the sales of Spotify. There's no way in hell that Spotify aren't going to suddenly say, right, if you pay us through this method, you can use us for 50 pence cheaper. Because they
that's what Epic was doing with the V-Bucks. When they made it before they were banned, they had V-Bucks cheaper with their own method. Yeah.
And any big company that can afford to go through another payment system, they'd be stupid not to. You can still offer the Apple payment system, but you just offer a cheaper alternative, and for a slight, a 10% reduction, but you still earn more money out of it. Simple business.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, Apple is going to fight it, as you said. So I hope they don't resort to those practices.
Definitely going to go to that. They're definitely you know it's going to happen because otherwise they'd have already been appealing in the judges. Apple would have already started. They'd have already issued a call to war from all the slaving fanboys. Fanboys, unite! Go argue against the judges for doing something that actually benefits you. Because I am Tim Cook, and my child slaves will not die if you fuck off, Apple. I hate that company.
Okay, Francesco.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that this might make it a little easier for those streaming services to get on iOS. I think they had to go with the web browser solution because of this issue with the payment with the in-app purchases. So this is probably going to make it a little easier in the future, maybe for more services to get on without having to go through having to to come up with other solutions. Yeah. Because I think this was the issue that they couldn't get xCloud and I don't remember. There was another one. I don't remember now.
Facebook gaming was an issue as well.
There were a couple ones. I don't remember the others, but
yeah,
xCloud was one of them. It was something. I think GeForce Now maybe, or something with Steam, like Steam Link.
I know anything.
There was something like that. they had the same issue because you could purchase game by this with the streaming app, and so they did not allow it. So this is probably going to
Benefit them.
make it easier for developers to have their streaming services on there.
Total War, Warhammer 3 delayed. Chris, are you still alive?
I know, I've seen it. It was expected though. I've been expecting it. Why, I won't say. Oh, but yeah.
Chris's sources.
I wouldn't go that far. I like some sauces. Like mayonnaise is fantastic with chips. No, I was expecting it. Same as most games, I expect delays because anybody who says COVID hasn't impacted, they're just lying or they don't know anything. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, sort of wrapping up, I will talk about what I've been playing. I've been playing Football Manager, which I'm always playing.
What's that? Is it a new game?
Sorry?
I don't know it. Is it a new game?
It's a fantastic game. It's where you look at these lines on a table, many numbers and spreadsheets, and you make the best footballs team. And sometimes you bring somebody called Ronaldo into your team. I don't, sadly, because I play a shit team.
Football Excel 2021.
It's brilliant, and I can't wait for 2022 in November. Other than that, I've also Rim's Racing review came out of the weekend. I'm playing just a little horror game called Tortured Souls, which is actually not too bad. Released by PQ last month, and I mean, it's decent. It's very much like the old school, like your Resident Evil, and very, like tank. Well, even the instruction book has a tank on it, so you know it's tank-like controls. And it was very like it's not even a spoiler. Within the first 10 minutes, the character you take part, I forgot her name now, Christine or something, or Frank, and like you go into some haunted mansion, used to be a hospital. You get knocked unconscious, and she wakes up stark bollock naked. Well, not bollock naked, she's female, stark titted naked in a bathtub with a tube stuck down her throat. Gets out fully naked, and then you see that she's had her eye pulled out. It's like, okay, fair enough. Start modest then. It's like no explanation as to why her eye's been pulled out yet, but I'm sure I'll find out. She's got her clothes back on though. It really does not seem phased that her eye's been pulled out. Me personally, I'd have been like, the fuck?
Yeah, that might not feel very nice to get your eyes pulled like that.
What are you playing, Francesco?
So I'm playing two things, and surprise, I can't talk about one of those two. surprise. I can finally talk about Tales of Arise because it's been like two podcasts that I couldn't say, and now I can finally talk about that because I'm playing through it again at the higher difficulty level. I'm not sure, but it's probably one contender for Game of the Year for me. Because I think it's good. My opinion of the game has even improved since the review. I have to be honest. It has even improved a bit.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Did you unlock sexy scenes?
Sorry?
Do you unlock any sexy scenes to improve?
No, there are no. It's weird because they usually have some sort of sub-quest, hot springs, that kind of stuff, but it's not in this time. They really wanted to show how the game has matured a bit. In fact, it's a little less anime than usual. It's a little darker and more anime than usual. But yeah, it's very good, and the 5 years wait was totally worth it. At least for me.
Fair play.
It was very, very worth it.
I've seen I've seen that it's going very well on Steam as well. I think it's the best Tales launch on Steam so
Yeah,
far.
it probably helped that it's. I haven't played it on PC. I played it on PlayStation 5, but I've read around that it's a good port, so that helped.
How
Well,
about you?
Scarlet Nexus was a good port on PC too, so
I
it's
think
not
that's the thing.
surprising.
A lot of JRPGs and games like that are starting to finally move over properly onto PC. All we need is Koei Tecmo to realize that the PC has a real platform.
Yeah, Atlus too. We need more Persona. Well, Persona 4 Golden is a start, but
Yeah. No, I mean the
it's not
actual
yet
way that they
enough.
ported over, like the Koei Tecmo
Oh
games, really
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, Neo 2 wasn't too bad for a PC version. It even has DLSS support.
Hmm.
It's not too bad. Yeah, other games are horrible. Really.
Yeah. How
So
about
yeah,
you,
yeah,
Alessio?
they need
What are
to
you
step up.
playing?
I've been playing the New World beta with my guild and also Deathloop mostly. And it's easy if you enjoy the games that are made by Arcane, like Dishonored or Prey.
Are you allowed to tell us that you're playing
It's another.
Deathloop?
Sorry.
Are you allowed to tell us that you're playing Deathloop?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
am.
that's all right then.
So
Better make
yeah,
sure.
it is basically it plays a lot of a lot like Dishonored.
Hmm.
You can even unlock some similar powers like Shift, which is basically the blink spell. But at the same time, it's a lot different in how it's structured because you don't simply move to from target to target, from location to location, but you are in the time loop, of course, and you have to unlock pieces of the puzzle with every loop and every district and every time of day,
Yeah.
and it fully depends on how you approach the game, and you basically everyone will uncover clues in a different way, and it's really interesting, and I'd say it is quite an improvement over the immersive sim formula. And of course, there is also the kind of invasion element as well, because uh, the protagonist is basically hunted by this Juliana character, and it's she's controlled by AI usually. So if you are killed when you are in if you are killed by Juliana, basically you may lose everything that you gathered in that in that trip, and
Fair
your
enough.
day basically that's. So it's it's quite the element of risk versus reward. But if you kill her, then you can load some very interesting stuff. And there are also ways to basically make it so you can keep powers or weapons between loops. And also with when the game goes live tomorrow, it will be also a PvP feature in that anyone could potentially come into your game if you play online, and they could take over Juliana. So it will be very interesting to see. I think
Fair enough.
there will be some nice videos on YouTube as well about this mechanic. So
Yeah, I have
I
to give
think
it a
it's
go
great.
sometime.
Yeah, it will be a great game. Also on PC, it supports the DualSense features like haptic triggers and haptic feedback and adaptive triggers,
Yeah.
which feel great in this game. Each weapon feels unique, and it's a great game. I really recommend it, and arcane titles are usually very well received by critics, but they don't sell that well. So I'm hoping, this will be different, although maybe they will have to wait for the PC and Xbox exclusives for the next time when they'll go straight to Game Pass, because that will certainly boost their visibility.
Yeah, fair enough. I can hear myself. No, stop talking. Gold. Yeah, no. So it sounds like Deathloop's worth looking at. Yeah, I think that's everything from me. Unless there's anything either of you would like to add.
No, not particularly.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a good. It looks like Sony's finally pulling their act out. So that's the main takeaway from this. And also, every game I ever want is getting delayed, which is about right. And also needs more feed in Gran Turismo. Yeah, so thank you for joining us, and we will see you all another time.
In another loop. Bye.
Oh no. Why? See you all in a bit.